Welcome to Two Fat Buds, the podcast where two seasoned connoisseurs with more years under their belt than most strains have in THC percentage gather to share their musings on weed and life. Meet your hosts, two old souls unapologetically embracing the art of getting high and the wisdom that comes along with it. The disclaimer: the comments made on this podcast are the sole product of these two well-aged minds and do not necessarily represent the views of any guest or affiliates. So grab your favorite strain, kick back, and join these two old buds as they embark on a journey of rambling about everything and nothing, all at once. It's a potpourri of laughter, contemplation, and ideas that only come from a lifetime of toking. Welcome to Two Fat Buds, where the green conversation meets the golden years.
Welcome to Two Fat Buds. My name is Leigh Hacker along with
Skunkle Al. Hey, everyone.
What is going on, Al? How are you?
I am fine. Boy, that intro was really exciting, wasn't it?
A special shout out to our friend Envy, who's a friend of the show, for setting up that intro for us, the music and the voiceover. We appreciate that highly. And yes, that was amazing. What up, Stoner Granny? Welcome in. Welcome in. Thank you for joining our live this evening.
Welcome, Stoner.
Appreciate that. How you doing this week?
Not too bad. Not too bad. Nothing really exciting going on in my world, but man, around the country, there's a bunch of excitement going on, which we'll talk about tonight.
Yeah.
It's amazing how much the other states are starting to organize and get things set up for recreational in their states. You know, a lot of states are doing that, and also setting up just for regular medical.
Yep, 100%. You are correct on saying all of that. Let's see. Looking over, because we got, let's see, Stoner Granny says, I love you. Says Facebook user is just saying hi and what's up, brothers.
What's up, brothers?
I'm not sure who that user is right now. So let me see if I can get in. There we go. Ron. What up, old grumpy dude?
Hey, Ron.
Hey, Carl. What's going on?
Hey, Carl.
Saying hi. Appreciate you guys tuning in and hanging out with us while we do our podcast. But yeah, let's I think we should get a 5 count going here. What do you think?
I think that'll be excellent.
Wow, we'll bring it up.
4, 3, 2, 1. Campfire.
Brother, you just tuning in for the first time, wondering why did you guys just count down from 5 and say campfire? We are part of an organization called 420 Campfires, a Facebook group. And that organization is also a nonprofit that helps raise money, or doesn't help. They raise money to help homeless vets and get homeless vets off the streets. And when we are in our virtual chat rooms, we count down from 5 and say campfire so everybody can take a toke together. So that's why we do that. What's going on, Jules? How are you? So, Al, you said there's some exciting news going on across the nation when it comes to cannabis. What do you got?
Well, I got stuff. New Jersey lawmakers are filing bills to allow marijuana home grow, interstate commerce, banking protections, and psilocybin legislation, and a whole bunch more. And with just the inclusion of the psilocybin, I mean, that gets all my hairs in the back of my neck stand straight up. I'm ready for that stuff.
Yeah. I would, you know, that includes, if I'm not mistaken, I was reading that article earlier. You got that from, where'd you get that from?
Marijuana Moment.
Yeah.
Yes,
so I read that article earlier. And not only are they including mushrooms in that, they're including peyote in that. Which, you know, that's a completely different beast. I've never done peyote. I've done my mushrooms. I've done DMT. Mm-hmm. You know, they say peyote or however you pronounce it, is somewhere between a mushroom and a DMT trip. But it helps with the same way that mushrooms help. Say it again.
Peyote.
Thank you. That word. How he said it. That's what I'm looking for. They say it helps just like mushrooms does with depressions, PTSD, anxiety, the whole 9 yards. So but it's a way more powerful psychedelic, than mushrooms are. So I'm all for. Look, I'm all for anything that they can do naturally to help cure my depression, to help cure my PTSD, any of that stuff.
Yep.
Peyote. Thank you, Scott. Here, I will throw that up so everyone else can pronounce it correctly. Peyote. Appreciate that, sir. Appreciate that. Yeah, man. No, that's great news. And the fact that they're going to help with the banking throughout the state.
Yes.
That's one thing that that recreational cannabis and medical marijuana dispensaries are running into is they can't put the money in the bank because as soon as they do, the feds will rip it right out of their hands.
Yep.
So someone's mattress is stuffed with money. That's all there is to it. And the reason I say that is, let me see if I can find my article. Here it is. Illinois marijuana retailers sold $2 billion with a B billion worth of legal products in 1 year in 2023. Including a new monthly record in December. Let me rephrase that one more time. In Illinois, they sold $2 billion worth of recreational cannabis and medical cannabis.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What?
What I don't understand is why is there a deficit in the United States?
Well, my opinion is
all
the illegal weed that was being sold in the United States, most of it was coming out of Mexico. And all that money for buying that was going back into Mexico, into the drug cartels, so that they could do even more damage with their fentanyl and cocaine and stuff like that, bring that across the board. That's my opinion. You stop sending all that money south of the border and keep it within the United States. We could be doing what California is doing. Did you hear the California governor is proposing to use the $1 million of marijuana tax revenue to help close the state budget deficit?
Yes.
And he wants to strengthen the marijuana industry in California because of how much money they're making off of it.
Absolutely.
That makes so much more sense than I don't know.
What I don't understand is why are these people surprised about how well the marijuana industry is doing? There should not be one iota of surprise in anyone. It works. It's healthy. It helps heal you.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
There should be no question about it whatsoever.
No.
Oh, yeah, money. One of the Facebook users said money.
Ron says, follow the money. He's just saying.
Yep.
He'll tell you why, what's going on is going on. You pay hella tax there, Joe, though. That's Jules saying you pay hella tax, which I get. But, Jules, let me ask you a question. Is it worth paying the tax to be legal to ride down the road with weed on you and not have to worry about a cop pulling you over and sending you to federal prison because you got 2 ounces or less? Because that's what it is in most states, is you can have up to 2 ounces on your person.
Well, wasn't it last week that we said that in what state? Pennsylvania? That they were trying to make it so that the police, they could smell it on you, but they had to physically see you intoxicated.
Intoxicated, yes.
In order to charge you.
To charge you with a DUI. That was Pennsylvania. The lawmakers that we read last week, lawmakers in Pennsylvania, like you were saying, are trying to make a law to where it's harder for the police to pull over medical marijuana patients and smell it on it and assume, oh, well, you just got into smoking, so you're under the influence. Here's the ticket. No. No, that's not how it works.
No.
And you get a seasonal smoker like me or you, I can smoke a joint and go out and drive my car.
Yeah.
And I'm not a danger behind the wheel. Now, if I was to have a couple of alcoholic beverages and go out and drive my car, I'm a danger behind the wheel.
Absolutely.
Big difference.
Plus, I can remember the first time I was behind the wheel. Well, I tell you what, the world moved a whole lot faster than what it does now, didn't it?
Yep.
You get up to a stop sign, you're in a 25 mile per hour zone, you're doing 8 miles per hour and think you're doing the speed limit. Both hands on the wheel, and you just pray to God a cop doesn't get behind you because you know. So
I remember when I first started smoking, and when I first started smoking, I wouldn't get behind the wheel of a car because I could tell I wouldn't be good. It wasn't until after I had been smoking for a while, I knew what my limitations were. I knew how I felt. I knew how clear my thinking was. You know, if I had started to get behind the wheel of a car when I first started smoking cannabis, I'd have pulled up that stop sign, wait for it to turn green before I'd have drove on. That's how high I would get from it. Now, I have no problem whatsoever. Like right now, smoking this joint, going out there and running down the street to the store, I feel totally safe. I mean, I would put my wife in the car with me, the kids, the whole 9 yards, and be able to drive, I guess, and not even think twice about it.
Yep. Somebody called for another campfire, Lee.
That would be Jules. Jules called for that campfire. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, campfire, y'all.
Campfire.
Yeah, let's see what else is going on out there in the world. For those of you who want to know, we're getting all of our most of our information from Marijuana Moment, and I'm getting mine from High Times also. So the feds are supposed to release a marijuana rescheduling memo and related documents in their entirety in response to a lawsuit. Someone suing the United States government or the feds about their memos and stuff that they've been passing internally about whether or not to reschedule cannabis from a Schedule 1 down to Schedule 2 or 3 or 4, whatever it is they're going to reschedule it to. Yeah. And I think that's going to say a lot about what's really going on with this stuff on the federal level.
Yeah, you know, I know they're really pushing for them to reschedule it. You know, and hopefully it works this time.
It works too, but you know, I just read an article last week that the DEA is telling these other government entities that they have final say on what the schedule is, and they're gonna make up their own minds on it, no matter what anyone else is saying. Well, let's see, the DEA is funded by people getting in trouble for weed, for drugs. Yeah. So, they're not going to reschedule it down to where it needs to be. It needs to be a Class 3. That's all there is to it. It's Schedule 1. It needs to go down to Schedule 3. Schedule 2 means that you have to have a pharmacist. You have to go to a pharmacy and have a licensed pharmacist dally up your amount and give it to you. Yeah. That's not what weed is. Weed should be handled just like tobacco and alcohol, period. Mm-hmm. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Absolutely.
Scott, you can't call it medicine and keep it scheduled. You're 100% correct, sir. 100% correct.
Yep.
So, it's crazy. It's crazy how our government gets away with what they do when it comes to cannabis and all that.
Yeah, someone said March 13th.
What is March 13th? Oh, who said March 13th? Let me take a look. Julie said March 13th.
Yeah.
I wonder why Julie said March 13th. I know what March 13th is, but I'm wondering why Julie said March 13th.
She'll have to answer.
She will. So let's see what else is going on out there. Washington State, my home state. You know, to be able to grow cannabis in Washington State, you have to be a medical marijuana card holder. The rescheduling of marijuana is March 13th. Got you, Scott. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Okay. Tentatively. Okay, that makes sense. So to cultivate, to grow your own weed out there, you got to have a medical card, which was great. Well, they've introduced bills several times now where anyone over the age of 21 can grow X amount of plants, and they keep getting turned down because they feel that the number of plants that they're trying to pass on the bill is too high, because it cuts back on how much the state makes in taxes if you're growing your own stuff. You're not purchasing. But they are saying that there is a new bill being introduced that they feel is going to be at the right number of plants to where able to get past our friends out in Washington State, hanging over the age of 21, such as my sons, who hopefully they learned a little bit from me when I was growing, can start growing their own cannabis and not have to worry about spending money on it.
Yeah.
Which would be nice for them. Be very nice for them. What is going on, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning in, for coming in and commenting and talking to us while we do this. We appreciate this so much. It's not just me and Al talking back and forth. We got you guys to talk to, and that's what makes it so much fun. Makes it so much fun. Let's see what else is going on out there.
Stoner Granny says, unfortunately, a lot of people hear weed and drugs is always after weed.
Correct. You're right, Nora.
Yeah.
Especially the older people. Especially the older people, our age, Gen X, the boomers, especially the boomers. Boomers have the hardest time with separating the fact that cannabis is not a drug. But it was pushed on them for so many years by our government to make people think that, oh no, the big bad cannabis, the devil's lettuce is a drug. And you smoke it and you'll get addicted, and you smoke too much of it, you're going to die. All lies. All 100% lies. But they're so old, the boomers are so old now that they don't want to change their mind. And the Gen Xers are finally starting to realize that all the shit that they were told as kids in the DARE program was bullshit. So we're coming around, You go to a dispensary nowadays and you see just as many Gen Xers as you do people younger than Gen X. Weed is awesome. I have to agree with you, Julie. Weed is awesome.
Absolutely it is. Absolutely it is. And I just saw this on Marijuana Moment, actually.
Yep.
It says military veterans who received psychedelic ibogaine treatment saw dramatic and life-changing improvements in PST and depression. And I'm ready for that, man. Whenever it comes out, I'm ready to be
sign up for it, huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sign me right up.
I look at him as the godson. Served his time in the military and has PTSD from it.
Yeah.
And he lives in Colorado, and the VA in Colorado is one of the first VAs to do testing of mushrooms for PTSD, psychedelics for PTSD. Mm-hmm. And it's changed that young man's life tremendously.
Oh, I'm sure.
He takes it on a daily basis. They provide it. They pay for it. He doses like he's supposed to. And he is a more functioning human being than what he was when he wasn't taking it, when they just had him on just regular head medicine.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I hope that the VA goes ahead and gets this passed and decides, you know what, screw it, we're going to do this. And they start giving out, psychedelics to their patients to help them with their head issues, depression, PTSD, anxiety, whatever it is they got. It helps. It does. I mean, I will preach that till my death that I take a microdose of mushrooms and feel better than what I do when I'm actually on my head meds. Mm-hmm. Way better. I'm happier. Mm-hmm. I don't have as much anxiety. My depression is less. My PTSD, I don't get as triggered as easy from certain things. Mm-hmm. It's just the way it is. And I wish weed was an all-in-one. If that makes sense.
Yeah, weed helps me.
Weed help more than what it does for me with those things. But weed and mushrooms together, man, I would feel like a normal human being, whatever normal is.
Yeah,
is what I think.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, right now, I'm telling them that I still have pain after they changed my medicines. And, they gave me the ones that make me sleep all the time. And I tell them about that. I say I'm sleeping all the time. Well, you have to give it a little bit of time to get used to it. And, it's just like, here, dummy, keep taking this until you find out what happens.
You've been on this medicine now for at least 2 months, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And you would think that your body would have adjusted to it by now, and they'd be able to say, okay, if you're sleeping and you should be sleeping this much, maybe it's too high of a dose. But if they're not giving you a high enough dose for pain, what do you want it for then?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
It's like you're a guinea pig, brother.
Yeah, man.
It's like you're a guinea pig is how I see that they do with medicine.
And that's okay. You know, if they do that with psilocybins, I'm going to be a happy motherfucker. Let me tell you. All I got to say is, wow.
Oh, Jesus. Here we go with the wows. Here we go with the mushroom wows. Let's see. Nora wants to know how Ohio is handling it being illegal now. Actually, I just saw the other day on the internet that the very first supposedly recreational cannabis store got opened in Dayton. I don't know how they got their license so fast. I don't know how they got their cultivation so fast.
That's awesome.
But yeah, supposedly there's a store. You don't have to have a medical card, and you can go in and you can get actual weed. So, you know, I haven't been up there. I don't know if I'm going up there to check it out. I'm afraid the lines are going to be way too long to be the first recreational store in the whole state. I can only imagine how long their lines are, especially on the weekends. So I'll just have to learn through the internet how they're doing up there. Tara Jace, what is going on? How are you? So,
yes,
South Carolina Senator pushes for medical marijuana vote next month. So all of our friends down in South Carolina, they've been saying, "Oh, we'll be the last state to go medical or go rec." They're pushing for this vote next month. If they go through, they'll have medical marijuana within a year in that state, if not sooner, they say. So that's exciting news for the cannabis industry, for medical marijuana patients. Rhode Island's got a bill. We were talking about the psilocybin. However you say that word, God damn it.
Psilocybin.
Anyways.
The P is silent.
Yeah. Psilocybin.
Silas. There you go.
All right.
Psilocybin.
Psilocybin.
There you go. You got
it. Rhode Island bill would temporarily legalize psilocybin use, home cultivation, and sharing. In other words, what they're saying is if you grow it, we don't want you to sell it, make any money off of it. But if you want to give it to your neighbor, like you would some tomatoes and cucumbers, go for it. I think that's amazing.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
What do you guys, everyone out there in the audience watching right now, what is your opinion on mushrooms and stuff? I mean, do you think it should be as legal as cannabis? Do you think it should be more controlled, like by doctors? What is y'all's opinion on this?
A Facebook user says I'm okay-ish, post-concussion syndrome. Twitch.
Oh, Tara, sorry to hear that. So sorry to hear that. All right, well, while we wait for everybody to type out whether or not they think mushrooms should be legal or controlled by a doctor or whatever, here we go. Tara says legal.
Yeah.
We had lines in Illinois for blocks when we first got legal. Now it takes minutes to get. You know about your cannabis, right, Nora?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Explain I suppose I should explain to the audience, you know, the ones that are in the room with us here typing. All I see is a Facebook user. I don't see any names. Facebook.
I don't either. When it says Facebook user, that's just it. There is no name. I have to look over my phone to see who that person is because I've got it on my phone, just for that reason. So let's see.
They're with us. Normally, if I welcome somebody or say something, Lee's going to have to look at his phone first to say who it was that I was talking to. Legal, it's a plant. Yes, ma'am. You got
it. Saying legalize mushrooms. It's a plant. You're right. You're right. They should. They definitely should. There is no reason that anything that is natural that does not kill you should not be legal. Our government should not be able to say, oh, that's natural, but we can't control it, so we don't want you to have any of it.
That's a fact. And that's bullshit.
Pure bullshit. Pure bullshit. Hey, check it out. If you guys know anyone in the cannabis industry or anyone in any kind of business in which cannabis affects their livelihoods, please let us know, and we will reach out to them and see if they would be interested in being guests on the podcast. We are right now trying to book our guests for next month.
Yep.
So if anyone knows of anyone that would be interested in being a host or a guest on a podcast, please reach out to us and let us know who you recommend. And you can do that by, let me get to the banner, which I just realized we have no banners whatsoever floating across our screen.
No, we don't.
You can
twofatbuds@gmail.com.
That's right. You can email us at twofatbuds@gmail.com.
Somebody knows a pot farmer in Oregon.
Really? I would love to talk to a pot farmer in Oregon. Dare reach out to them or give us their information. I'll reach out to them myself, see if they'd be interested in being a guest on here and talk about what it takes to be a pot farmer in Oregon. Mm-hmm. So, yes.
And the trials and tribulations thereof.
Yes, exactly. The government wants total control so they can restrict and tax it. And I get that. Tax it. I don't care. Even if I grew it at home, I would be willing to pay a grower's license.
Yeah.
Let me pay $100 a year and let me grow, 12 plants a year or 12 plants at a time. That's 24 plants in a year because it takes 6 months roughly to do a cycle. Yeah. I'd be happy to pay $100 to get 24 plants worth of bud. Easy.
Yeah. Yeah, I would too. Hey, how about a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 campfire, y'all?
Campfire. Oh, man.
That works so good.
Most of my girlfriends let me pull that up. Most of my girlfriends in California went out of business because the government ran them into the ground with taxes and licenses. Mm-hmm. I get that, Ron. I do.
Growers, not girls.
Growers. Yeah, I see that now. It just dawned on me what he meant by that. Ron and his women. No, I'm kidding. Ron is a happily married man, and I know he is. But yeah, and I get that, Rod. I do. Unfortunately, big business swallows little business. And that kind of sounds like that's what's going on with the growers out there. And that's why some of them are going underground with their grows too, and keeping the black market busy.
Yeah.
But until the prices of weed come down to where everyone can afford it, and it's not costing the growers an arm and a leg to do this, there's always going to be a black market somewhere for this.
Oh,
always.
Absolutely.
Whoa.
Absolutely. The best thing the government could do if they start controlling all of the weed places, dispensaries and stuff, is have be the lowest bidder. Start it off rock bottom so that you kill the outside business.
Yep.
And it's, they're still going to make billions. And that's a B.
So, speaking of being the rock bottom bidder,
Mm-hmm.
Canada's got some really low prices for their cannabis.
Who does?
Canada.
Really?
Our neighbors to the north. They do.
Wow.
But here's the problem. Since 2018,
mm-hmm.
the Canadian government has had to destroy 3.7 million pounds of cannabis because there's been bigger supply than what there's been in demand.
Oh my.
3.7 million pounds of cannabis has been destroyed since 2018. So in the last 5 years, they've got rid of 3.7 million pounds of cannabis. No offense, but give me the rights to give me permission to drive across the border. I'll take a couple pounds of that off their hands for them, so they ain't got to destroy it.
Yeah, as well.
Be willing to pay for it.
Too bad they can't transfer it cross border. Because a lot of these startup states, they don't have flower.
Yep.
It takes at least a year and a half for a state to actually get product and have it in stock and ready to go. It takes about a year and a half.
Yep.
And that's the way it is. They can't import weed or any of the substrates out of state from out of state. So it has to be grown in state for them to use it.
Yep. I think that's ridiculous. I think, and again, we go back to the feds need to pull their heads out of their asses.
Yep.
Decide what to schedule it, and then set the guidelines for what should be done, as in what pesticides can and can't be used, blah, 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 whatever.
Yeah. Once
they do, and every state is following the same guidelines in that situation, then I don't see why we can't. Here in Ohio, I can't get ATF as easy as I can in Washington State.
Yeah.
So let me order it from an online dispensary in Washington, have it shipped to me through the United States Postal Service. It'll help the Postal Service make money, because that's the only government entity that loses money, and they want to abolish the Postal Service. No. Legalize where I can ship weed or buy weed from out of state and have it shipped to me. I'll be willing to pay the fucking stamps on that.
Yeah.
Keep the post office up and running. Ain't no reason to get rid of it. Give them something to do. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that we should be allowed to ship cannabis from state to state in the mail?
Or even country to country.
Oh, man.
What?
Speaking of countries, let me find it. Thailand seeks public opinion on draft bill to ban recreational use after decriminalizing. Thailand, if I'm not mistaken, it was either 6 months or a year ago, decriminalized cannabis across the whole country.
Yeah.
Now they're talking about they want to ban recreational. Why would you decriminalize? Just turn around and ban it. Makes no sense. Makes no sense at all.
No.
Unless they're having problems getting the taxes off of it, like they want. Yeah. Let's see. Heather says yes, we should be able to ship. Carl says heck yes. Nora says you're always going to have personal. Then pull it up. Florists. Not everyone wants to be connected to buying weed. That's what I think, and you can get some and pay later.
Yeah.
Hell, your personal florist. Some of them do that, Nora. Let you do it on credit. That is true. But with the personal florist, the government's not making any tax money. And like I said, I don't mind paying taxes on my cannabis. I pay taxes on cigarettes.
Yeah.
Not trying to get into the whole tax debate on whether or not we pay too much taxes on shit. That's not what I'm saying.
I know.
What I'm saying is, if it means that they will legalize and make it to where everyone and their mother can get cannabis, then yes, put a tax on it. I'll pay the taxes like I do my cigarettes, just like people do with alcohol. You know, it is what it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
The black market weed is keeping the post office. You're right. Keeping the post office running. Seriously.
Yeah.
Ron, you are 100% correct on that.
No doubt. And I have proof. Check this out. I got this in the mail yesterday or the day before. It says "We Care" from the United States Postal Service, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to cover my buddy's name and address, but look at the chunk taken out of this. It looks like it was eaten by Jaws.
It looked like it was eaten by one of their sorting machines, actually.
And there's absolutely nothing in the envelope.
So you just got an envelope with a stamp with no guts.
With no guts, and it says "We Care."
Yep, sure does. Yeah, I'm glad they care. I'm so glad they care. Look, the post office ran just like anything else, not by the smartest people, not by the best people. I mean, I know a couple people work for post office that are smart, that are good at it, but it's just like any other job. You got some people that fuck up, and especially things that have so many machines. You ever seen how the post how the mail gets sorted nowadays, and how many machines it goes through before it comes to your door?
Oh yeah,
I am not surprised the machine did not tear up a piece of mail, not at all. I wouldn't be surprised it didn't tear up several pieces of mail before they realized that machine was doing that, and they shut it down and recalibrated it. That's just my opinion.
Absolutely, buddy. Absolutely. I got to read torch as well. Oh, and ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, if you want to hear a topic, if you like what we're doing, tell us. If you have suggestions, tell us. Let us know. We're here to make it better for you guys. That's exactly why we're here.
Yes. Yeah, we are trying to make this something that people want to interact with and come back and watch on a regular basis. So if there's a topic that you find interesting.
Yep. Yeah, if there's a topic that you want to see or hear, reach out to us. twofatbuds@gmail.com.
I don't know if you read what's on the screen right now, but that's why I coughed. I started laughing quietly, and I swallowed some spit. That's why I was coughing. Imagine if the DMV was in charge of medical marijuana. Yeah. It would be a shit show and a nightmare all at one, man. No, we don't want the DMV being in charge of that crap. Not at all.
No way.
Oh, my goodness, man. Thank you, Ron, for that laugh. But no, nobody wants that. Nobody wants that.
In Pennsylvania, they are streamlining the DMV now. They have their offices and stuff, in your towns, but they can't do much.
What do you mean?
Like if you're, what did I run into? Oh, there was just, I don't know. I'm pretty stoned right now and don't know why I even was talking about that. But let me think about that a minute.
Okay. Okay. No rush. We're here for another half hour, roughly. No rush at all on that topic. Let's see. Maine's 2023 adult use cannabis sales topped $200 million for our friends up in Maine. That's an amazing number to be a part of. Still not as high as Illinois.
No.
But I believe Illinois has a bigger population than Maine also.
Yes. They do.
Yes. So good for them. Here's one that we could talk about. West Virginia legislators support cannabis as a method to reduce fentanyl overdoses. Let me ask you a question, Al.
Yeah,
in Pennsylvania, how often, when you watch the news, how often do you hear about fentanyl overdoses?
Every day.
Every freaking day, man.
Every day.
Every day. Let me tell you a sad little story. I had a neighbor. I live in a cul-de-sac, and for a while, cars come and go. It's no big deal during the day, and on the summer, I'd sit out front and smoke my weed and kind of keep an eye on the neighborhood, just not being nosy, just sitting out there watching what's going on. And I noticed, man, there's this one house got quite a bit of traffic. I assumed he was selling something out of his house. I just didn't know what it was. And it wasn't my business. Mm-hmm. For all I know, this motherfucker could have been selling weed. I didn't know him. I never met him. Yes, several months back, right before summer was over, the local police department came in and raided his house because this asshole, and I'll call him an asshole for what he was doing, he was selling weed. He was selling weed laced with fentanyl.
Oh, my.
To make his weed stronger, to get people addicted to it, to where if they bought any weed from anywhere else, this weed was shit. This ain't no good. I'm going back to fucking dipshit over here that's got the stronger weed. Yeah, it's because you're fucking smoking fentanyl.
Wow.
In my opinion, people like that lace weed and sell it and stuff, or that sell fentanyl to people, need to be under the prisons. Not in the prisons, under the prisons.
Yes, absolutely. That's lowest of the low.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be adding ingredients that are harmful.
Exactly. In Cincinnati, they were saying that there was an issue with weed being laced with fentanyl, and people were dying. In one weekend, we lost 20-some people in one weekend. Yeah. And they kept saying, "Oh, it was fentanyl laced weed." I'm like, "Ain't nobody lacing fentanyl in their weed. What are you talking about? This is bullshit." Comes right out, my dipshit neighbor was fucking doing it.
Yep. Well, back in 2020, whenever my son died of overdose of fentanyl, They said that they were doing 3 of those a day. And I'm sure that it's increased since then, sadly.
Yeah. So, anyways, West Virginia, good for them for wanting to do cannabis to reduce the fentanyl overdoses. I hope it helps. I hope it works for them. I really do. Let's see.
Stoner Granny says, "What is that? What is fentanyl?"
What is fentanyl? Fentanyl is a pharmaceutically made or chemically made pain reliever, they call it. That is, what do they say it is? 10 times, 100 times stronger than oxys?
Yeah, 100 times.
100 times, thank you.
100 times.
And a very small dose you can overdose from a small dose of it. So I was not happy when I found out what was in that shot, but they told me they were going to give me a pain shot. I went down to the hospital one night because I was hurting really bad. Even the weed wasn't cutting it. So I finally went in today. I need something for my back. It's tearing me up. Can I get a pain shot or something? Like, yeah, we'll give you one. It was a cocktail that had fentanyl in it. And when they told me, I asked them, I said, what was in that? They said, it's got X, Y, Z and fentanyl. I said, whoa. You just gave me fentanyl and that shit dangerous? They said, well, yeah, if you don't know what you're doing, but obviously in the medical field, they know what they're doing. So when I say a low dose, I'm not sure what a regular dose is compared to what they're calling a low dose and stuff. I'm not sure.
It's probably in micrograms instead of milligrams.
Yeah. That's because of how strong it is. Yep. So
anyhow, I packed another bowl. I think we should do another 5 count. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, campfire.
All right, so let's talk about the bad that the different state governments are doing. You ready for this? Newly introduced bill in Florida proposes a 10% cap of THC in smokable cannabis. 10%. I know people that won't even walk into a dispensary if they don't have anything over 20%.
Yeah, exactly. My percentages that I deal with here in PA, they run anywhere from 16, 17 up to, I've seen 27 to 32%.
On flower itself. Yeah.
On flower itself, yes.
Yep.
Now, your oils and stuff, they're different. Their percentages are much higher.
Yeah. Ron said it's good CBD at 10% THC levels. Exactly. Now, don't get me wrong. I've smoked a 16, 17, 18, 19% THC strain that had really good terpenes that worked good for me.
Yep.
It worked.
Yes.
I just can't imagine a 10% THC limit, even with those terpenes, doing anything.
No.
I just don't see it. I really don't. And like Ron said, that's a good CBD. Yes, that is a good CBD at 10% THC is what they're trying to max out at.
Yeah, that is a good CBD.
So, how soon in recreational states do you think before they start having bars or smoking lounges or cafes for recreational cannabis? Because not every state has that. Some of them do. I've heard of certain states having smoking lounges. But could you imagine going to Vegas instead of going to Las Vegas or going to strip and going to a bar to have a drink? You go next door to the cannabis lounge and you smoke. You do dabs and stuff.
Yeah,
that's the way to do it.
That would be cool.
White Widow's using 17%. I think you're right on that, Ron. I really do.
Yeah. Stoner Granny said it's like saying, here is your candy, but no sugar.
Exactly. I'm gonna tell you right now, if I was to go trick or treating as a kid and get sugar-free candy, I'd be so pissed. Carl said, go check on your dogs. Dogs are good. His wife's with the dogs right now. I've hung out with Al enough to know his dogs are totally good. Sorry,
Yeah,
you hear them.
Yeah, I'm sorry. My dogs are good. It's feeding time. So
They're getting their dinner. It's dinner time. And how many German Shepherds you got? Because you got German Shepherds, right?
yeah, we have 5 of them.
5 grown German Shepherds. That's why they're so loud. German Shepherds have one of them. Guess what? There's a dog in this house bark.
Oh yeah, yeah. If you don't get detained by that, I'm not going to tell you what's waiting for you after them.
Yep. And you got 5 of them suckers, man. Shoot. I am so good on going into anyone's house with 5 German Shepherds uninvited. Uninvited. I am so good on going to anyone's house with 5 German Shepherds uninvited. You ain't going to see my butt in there doing that. No. That is not happening. It is not happening.
I'm training them to boop their noses on everyone's nose. So the one boy that we have, he's 3.5 years old right now, and he'll look you in the eye. Have his front paws on your shoulders and look you in the eye. He's that big.
Wow.
And he'll boop his nose to your nose.
Nice.
Like he's saying, hi there.
That's a big German Shepherd because you're not a short guy. You're what, 6'1", 6'2"?
I'm 6'3".
6'3", all right.
Yeah.
So for him to put his paws on your shoulders and boop you in your nose, that's a big German Shepherd.
Oh, yeah.
That is a big boy. Rod said the best I smoked is Willie Nelson Reserve at 32% THC. Willie Nelson Reserves, I've had that too when I lived in Washington, and that was a very good strain.
I've never had it.
They definitely did him right by coming up with that strain and calling it Willie Nelson and him giving the approval to use his name for that strain because, dear God, it's good shit. It is. I always forget about Willie's Reserve when I name my top 5. So I've only smoked it once. Everything else I've smoked within my top 5, I've had more than once. I can confirm that, they're in my top 5. But Willie's Reserve, if I'm not mistaken, I smoked that in 2 pre-rolls, and it lit me up pretty good. Yep. Oh, man. All right, check it out. If there's anyone out there that wants to help homeless vets get off the streets, I would recommend that you go to 420campfire.com/shop and buy some gear such as what Skunkle has behind him, the best buds, such as my flag that I have here. You can get T-shirts, the whole 9 yards of 420 Campfire gear, and 100% of the proceeds go to help homeless vets. And we support that 100% here at Two Fat Buds and helping homeless vets get off the streets. Yep. Stay tuned because here on Two Fat Buds the next week or so, we will be announcing who the next organization is that we're going to help. And if it's the one that I think we're going with, this one's going to mean a lot to a lot of people.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Heather says, great podcast, by the way.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm just not trying to show favoritism.
Thank you, Heather.
By reading her stuff out loud. I want to try Jim Belushi's. Yes, I would love to try Jim Belushi's weed. I've seen many pictures of him with his weed, and his weed looks delicious.
It does.
Looks very delicious. Nora wants to know what my top 5 strains are. Let me see if I can do this again, Nora. It's been a while since I've had to do this. Girl Scout cookie, 9-pound hammer, Alaskan Thunderfuck, White Widow, and Gorilla Glue. Gorilla Glue number 4.
What was 5? Fruit Loops.
Gorilla Glue.
Gorilla Glue.
Yeah, Gorilla Glue number 4. I really like Gorilla Glue. But I need to change that, man. I need to actually sit down and think. I've had way more strains since then.
You had Granddaddy Perp in the summer.
Yeah. Yeah, Granddaddy Perp's a great one. Yeah, I need to start keeping a journal. You ever thought about doing this, Al? Every time you smoke a strain, write it down in a journal is what you thought about that strain.
Yeah,
so
I think of it every time after I get like at 3/4 of the way down through an ounce, I started thinking about that. And then, next thing I know, I'm 3/4 of an ounce down on another bag. And
right?
I don't even know what the hell I'm smoking anymore.
I haven't met a weed strain I didn't like. Can't run. And don't get me wrong. I can't say that joke. Good weed all weed is good in my opinion.
Yeah.
But there's some that stick out more as a favorite or help me more with pain than others.
Yeah.
So man, I almost told a joke. I'm glad I didn't. Jesus Christ. That got me slapped by the females in this group. What'd that say? Some grab you by the boo-boo. Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Let me tell you something. 9-pound hammer and Alaska Thunderfuck are two that make me melt into my chair. 9-pound hammer, it's called 9-pound hammer because of how hard it hits you. And just makes you just fucking, huh? What? Who? And Alaska Thunderfuck was the same way for me. It just made me melt in my chair. Girl Scout Cookie helped me with pain, and I was still very active while I was on that. But Alaska Thunderfuck and 9-pound hammer are two that will slow me down when it comes to me smoking it. I definitely feel those a lot more of an indica feeling than the other strains that I've smoked. Which, they're saying now there's no difference between indica and sativa other than the way the plant looks. That some sativas will hit you like an indica and some indicas will hit you like a sativa.
Yes.
So I need to reevaluate because I've always said, I'm an indica guy. I only want to smoke indicas. But, to find out there's some sativas that will hit you like an indica, I might need to reevaluate that. Northern Lights and Jack Hare. What is Northern Lights, Jack Hare? I mean, I know the strains, but why are you putting those up? Are those two that get
probably
to you, Ron?
Favorite.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
Oh, I started putting some lavender in with my weed.
Yeah, nice. It's a difference.
It is a big difference. It tastes really good.
Yeah.
And it goes down really good. It doesn't make you choke. It gives you a nice aftertaste. I get a taste of allspice, which is weird.
It is weird for coming from lavender. You get allspice.
Yeah. Yep.
Huh. Okay. It happens.
It's not just me. I had lavender with me down at the get together last year.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a lot of other people that tried it, they said they had the same aftertaste of allspice. And it was the weirdest thing. So
I am not a fan of the smell of lavender. I don't like it at all.
Yeah.
I tried one of your lavender joints at the meetup. You gave me one and I smoked it.
Yep.
And I did not like the taste. If that's allspice, I don't like allspice in. But I was not a fan of the taste. That's why I haven't. If I'm not mistaken, I'm the one to talk to you about the fact that there's terpenes in lavender, the same as some of the weeds that helps with pain. And you were immediately on it and went out and bought some and tried it and said it worked.
Yeah.
And like I said, I tried the lavender to smoke it. And
yeah, guys, let me tell you what. I got a bag of this, 4 ounces for like $6.
Off Amazon, right?
Off Amazon. And could you imagine if we could get 4 ounces of weed like that in a bag for $6?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be good?
That would be amazing. That would be downright amazing.
But anyhow, yeah, these are extra grade raw from France and certified organic. The first ingredient, the only ingredient is lavender flowers.
I hope it's lavender flowers. If that's all you're supposed to be getting in that.
Yeah.
But hey, if it said lavender flowers / cannabis, I might be buying some for $6.
Yeah. No. Well, I have lavender flowers and mixed cannabis.
Yeah.
Now I'll send it your way.
No.
You liked it so much.
Yeah, no. I'm good on that. I'm so good on that. Hey, speaking of thinking something,
Yes,
did
sir.
you see the video that I posted on the group page of Heather doing her first dab?
No, I didn't.
And last week, I can't remember exactly what day it was, but Heather looked at me. She goes, "The dabs, huh?" I said, "What about them?" She goes, "How strong are they?" I said, "Try one, just see."
Yeah.
You know, what's going to hurt to try one dab? It's weed. Worst case scenario is you get higher than you normally do off of smoking a joint.
Yeah.
But one hit isn't going to be any stronger than smoking one joint. So I gave her the dabs. I gave her my Lucas Seahorse Pro. I showed her how to make it flash and all that. Dude, she took a hit like a champ. And guess what? She blew it and didn't cough.
Good.
Didn't cough.
Good
So I'm recording this. I'm impressed with how she was doing. And I got done with the recording. I go to the group page. And I upload the video. I'm waiting on the video to upload, and it takes a while because it wasn't a 10-second clip. It was like a minute something long.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, she looks at me. She goes, "I feel like melted butter."
That is indica. Welcome to indica.
Yep.
In the couch.
She melted into that couch for a while. You know, she hasn't done one since, which I'm not sure why, because I got plenty of dabs for her to try. But yeah, she really enjoyed that dab, and it got her good. It got her good in a good way.
I got some edibles. You know, some of the gummies from the dispensary.
Yeah,
they're not called gummies, are called troches or something like that. And all they are is fucking gummies or blueberry. I had her try one. I tried one, and she was like happier than hell with that one. Didn't do shit for me. So I'm thinking a whole bag will do well for me. What do you think?
There you go. Probably. When you say she, you mean your wife, right?
Yes.
So she had a half of a gummy and felt good.
No, a whole gummy.
Oh, she had a whole gummy and felt good. Good.
Whole gummy. Yep.
Good. My wife will never do edibles again to save her life. I fucked her up on edibles one night, and I didn't mean to. I misread the package as to how many milligrams, and I gave her double what it should have been. And she hated me, hated life. It was a bad experience. So you can ask her now. Here, I'll see if she'll put it in the comments. Heather, want to do some edibles with me? Let's see what she puts in the comments. I expected it to be something more than just no. I don't know. You almost killed me last time or something stupid like that.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yes, Jules, it was during my life. I'm off that program.
Good job, Heather. Good job.
Yep. She is not into the edible scene at all. Which is a shame. I actually enjoy edibles myself.
You know, I would do mushrooms again. I would probably not do the dose that we did, but maybe like a 6 gram.
Yeah. With or without lemon juice at 6 grams?
With lemon juice.
Okay. Because they say lemon juice doubles it and makes the effect kick in faster. It doubles the potency, which I'm not sure if it doubles it. But think about that. No. You did 9.5. You did basically 19 grams at one time. We did 19 grams at one time. If it doubles it. So 6 with lemon, it's still 12, which still less what you were being at. But if you're going to do it with lemon juice, I would recommend 5.
I was blacked out for 12 hours, man.
Yes, you were. Yes, you were.
I mean,
I was having a great old time on 9.5 grams of shrooms with lemon juice.
I know. You could function.
I could talk. I was holding conversations. The only thing I was noticing was every time our friend Billy, who was across the grass from me, standing in front of the parking lot, there was trees behind him. And every time he started talking to me, those trees, you remember the movie Roger Rabbit at the end where the trees are swaying while they're singing? That's what those trees were doing, man. They were just swaying back and forth to his voice. And I finally looked at him and said, dude, you got to sit down and quit talking to me. Because those trees are fucking me up.
Yep.
Oh, my goodness. Well, Al?
Yes, sir. Got another one on the books, didn't
Another
we?
one on the books. Let me say this. Thank you to everyone that came in to watch our lives, that commented, that helped this hour pass by. We appreciate it.
Oh, yeah.
It's been amazing. I mean, last week was a great one. I think this week was great. The time just seems like it flies by. I mean, we were used to doing half-hour shows every week, and now we're doing live-hour shows. Time-wise, it feels the same. Feels like 30 right now to me.
Yeah.
So, anything else you want to add, Skunkle Al?
No, I can't think anything else other than, hey.
It's because you're fucking high.
Have a great weekend, guys.
Yeah.
We'll
have a
see you
great
next
weekend.
week.
We will be back next Thursday, 8 p.m., right here on YouTube and on the Facebook page, 420 Campfire. Also, check out Two Fat Buds Facebook page. We now have one, and we're looking for people to subscribe to it and like it. I think we have 66 subscribers to the page right now. I promise you I don't post a lot of stuff on there, but I will post this video on there so everybody can watch it later if they want. So thank you. Much love, and we are out of here.
Yep. Much love, guys.